Are Ghost Adventures losing their edge? Well, that's what a lot of people are wondering, especially with their what seems to be incredibly over-reliant on the Poltergeist house for upcoming seasons, like season 29 that is airing, I think tomorrow, probably today at the time of you seeing this video, tomorrow at the time of me recording, right? Because this is being pushed so hard, but it's still trending on places like Twitter, so Ghost Adventures is. So do they need to depend on it? And the question, I guess, is Ghost Adventures starting to kind of lose its edge? And is it starting to wind down? Or is it, just going to continue going? There have been a lot of rumors about a lot of things. I'm going to dive into it all today and get you up to date on everything. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the upcoming episode. So obviously it's going to premiere with the new season with the Poltergeist house, which has never been investigated by anyone ever in the history of ever, right? Which is very exciting, I can't lie. I think it'll be a very fun episode, especially for the location. In terms of Ghost Adventures crew, I don't really know. I'm not the biggest fan of, Zak Bagans, but that's not what I'm here about today. So there's been a big push for this episode, right? Especially with regards to the Poltergeist house. So, People Magazine have obviously reached out and done stuff. TMZ absolutely love Zak, right? They will always get the exclusive scoops when it comes to stuff like this, but people seem to get in there first, so they made a massive thing about this. So, the new season of Ghost Adventures premieres on April 16th with the first ever investigation inside the Poltergeist house in Simi Valley, California, where the movie was originally filmed. Now, Zak Bagans has never shied away from anything cursed. In a special 2-hour premiere of Discovery Channel's hit series Ghost Adventures returns for a new season with the first ever investigation inside the house where the 1982 classic horror movie Poltergeist was filmed. Bagans, along with his crew Aaron Goodwin, Billy and Jay, visit Simi Valley, California property to work with its new owners to look into one of Hollywood's most famous rumored curses. It was mind-blowing, Bagans tells people of the investigation, to be in the house where the movie was, but also to be with the actual paranormal events occurring there has just blindsided me. The curse of the house became popular legend after several actors died during and after filming of the 1980s movie trilogy. And while the home in the film was built over indigenous tribal burial grounds, the real property was positioned near the sacred Native American soil as well. We worked with some members of the tribes, and as soon as they gave us information about how real the curse could be, that's when things got really serious, Bagans says. And I was really like, holy cow, this isn't just a fictional movie or a fictional story for a movie, but this is very real. And there was also 3 deaths in the house of the family before. So my question is, were they afflicted by the curse? Bagans says that he was intrigued by the idea of the Poltergeist curse since the opening of his haunted museum in Las Vegas. I wanted to see whether there was anything there, any type of inception for this curse. What would be the beginning of it? He explains why it would be, why some of the cast and crew would complain about paranormal occurrences while filming. Where did this originate from? And so much of the film was filmed at the house. I wanted to see if something there could be responsible. To prepare for investigation, Bagans and his team gathered personal belongings from some of the cast that were believed to be afflicted by the curse to use as trigger objects. They were also worked with some of the new home's owners to research any deaths into the property's past. Right, so obviously this is an Instagram post with Matt Rife, which is going to be, he's going to be a part of one of the upcoming episodes. Now, the most terrifying moment for Bagans came when an old television set in the house was a focal point for the movie. There was a lot of truth to the television acting as a piece of ITC, which is instrumental transcommunication. Where spirits use electronic devices to communicate to us by using electromagnetic spectrum, he says. We literally adhered to our ITC equipment to it. And our spirit boxes. You'll see my reaction when the communication we started receiving from a spirit all of a sudden. We're living in a movie, but everything's real. Obviously, that's a very bold statement there from Ghost Adventures, especially considering, there's now leaked footage online of Bagans saying that, about how to set stuff up and, what was it? Was it a pastor or someone like that? Basically saying that doesn't fit the script of the show. which begs the question of, is Ghost Adventures actually genuinely real? I'm not so convinced. As for the upcoming season, Bagans says fans can expect some of the most iconic investigations we've ever had. He says the Houdini seance, to have blood relatives there to participate in the seance with us, who was incredibly skeptical, intelligent person that I loved having eyewitness and experience our investigation firsthand. And the reaction that we had when we caught a piece of evidence is, I would say, one of the biggest highlights of my career in Ghost Adventures ever. It was just incredible. So yeah, and then they've dropped also to like double down on this. They've also dropped a brand new Instagram reel, right, which basically goes over the investigation as well. I'm not gonna lie, right, like I'm not a fan of Zak. I'm not a fan really of Ghost Adventures anymore. I used to really like it, but then it's just kind of like, ugh. But I'm kind of hyped for this episode, right, because there is a hell of a lot that's gone on, right? So it's not just the house that's haunted, which is usually the case. It's the fact that there's like so many like things that have gone on pre, post, and you know, during production of the films. And you know, obviously the curse of the allegedly cursed land and all the rest of it. I'm genuinely curious to see what Ghost Adventures walk away with. Again, I still stand by my you know, thoughts that maybe this is just a bit of a promotional stunt from the homeowner, the Airbnb owner now, to try and basically get tickets through the doors and put the place back on the map, with her now taking the place over. I mean, it's a good like-for-like swap, isn't it? When you think about it, you know, you've got Zak Bagans gets to exclusively investigate in a location that's never been investigated before with such dark history, and then the homeowner gets free publicity by one of the biggest shows for paranormal to get people into the doors. Kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it that way, but I'm still hyped for the episode. What about you guys? What do you think? And is Ghost Adventures hinging too heavily on this kind of thing? Has it lost its edge where Ghost Adventures isn't just, people aren't just hyped for Ghost Adventures anymore, it's hyped because they need these big things to kind of keep people coming? What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments, and yeah, I'll speak to you later. Peace.